Hi guys, and welcome back to the Science of Awesome. Today we're going to be talking about the Earth. Now, some of you guys may think that we live on Mars, but you're wrong. We live on Earth. Home, home on the Earth, where the deer and the antelope give birth. The Earth has three major layers called spheres. Now, a sphere is a kind of kingdom. And so when we think and talk about different spheres, we talk about different layers or different characteristics that happen on the Earth. The first layer is called the lithosphere. Now, lithos in Greek means rock. Alright, so we're talking about the rock layer when we talk about the lithosphere. So even if you are a flat area or a mountain or anything that is made of solid rock, we're talking about the lithosphere. The next area is called the hydrosphere. Now the hydrosphere is the area of water on the Earth. So oceans, lakes, rivers, anything that's made of that good old H2O that you can drink is called the hydrosphere. Now the third layer of the Earth is called the atmosphere. Atmos in Greek means air. And so this is the air layer above the hydrosphere and the lithosphere. Now you might ask yourself, Mr. C, why does that air stay onto the Earth? Well, the answer is gravity. You see, the air has mass, and mass is attracted to other mass. And so the layers of the Earth, inside the Earth, whether it's in the mantle or the core, all attract the atmosphere to it, so it doesn't float off into space. So in today's activity, we're going to be creating our own atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere, an activity I like to call Itty Bitty Planets. Alright, so for this project we're going to need 2-liter bottles of empty soda. So you can use either water bottles or you can use some soda bottles. Whichever one you choose, that's fine. We are going to need some seeds. You also need some water, as well as some potting soil. Now this is just some potting soil that I had in my garage, but you can also use just some soil you pick up from outside. So, what you're going to do is you're going to take your water bottle, and what I would recommend having a parent go and cut a little slit in here with a knife, okay, whether you're using a utility knife or a steak knife or anything like that. This part is for parents only. Listen, parents only. Alright, so after they have poked a little hole there, I'm going to take a set of scissors, and I'm going to cut off the bottom of this bottle. Alright, and so I'll just have the bottom of it right here. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the other bottle. So now I have two bottom halves that I can work with, okay? Now one of these is going to be the top and one of them is going to be the base, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut a few little lines. Again, you're not cutting all the way down, just so you have a little bit of a break here. Alright, and you're going to cut some smaller lines because this is going to create the seal on our little planet. Okay, so I can bend them in a little bit or out, it doesn't really matter. This should make, I need a couple more over here. Alright, so I should be able to make a seal on my little planet. Okay, there we go. So now I have my little planet seal. Alright, so then what you're going to do is you are going to take some potting soil, and I am using a spoon. Make sure that you ask your parents first if it is okay to use a spoon from the kitchen. If you can't, you can just use your hand. I can always just reach in here a little bit. Take some soil, and I'm going to put some of that in here. Alright. That's going to be my little bottom. Now, this is going to be my lithosphere. Now, I'm going to make some hard bottoms, some little lakes here. I'm going to actually use the top of my caps on this. Now, normally in nature, you would have little harder rock that forms at the bottom, or to create various rivers, and with erosion and deposition and things like that you can get various formations for lakes and rivers. But for our purposes here, we're just going to use some little caps. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit more soil. Put it around the sides there. A little bit more. Alright. And that's okay if it's a little bit inside the cap. That is not a big deal. Alright. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pour some water right on top of our little world. Have to wait for it to settle a little bit. So you pour a little bit. If you pour too fast, it's going to overflow. We don't want that. But you can see it's starting to go down. We want a good amount of water in there, and this is going to represent our hydrosphere. So again, we have a couple little lakes here. All right. And if you really don't want, if you want to look really nice, take the back of your spoon, sort of take out some of those little pieces of debris. Now those will eventually settle down. Okay, so we have our hydrosphere here, and it too will settle down. Okay, so now that I have done that, I'm going to take some seeds. These are just some random flower seeds that you can find at the store. Most stores have these, okay, and these seeds are real little, but I'm just going to show you. I take these little seeds. Now you can use grass seeds too if you want. If you really want, you can take your bean seeds from the germination video for germination bags. You can put them in here. Alright. And we're going to set those off to the side. Alright, and then we're going to take our top. We're going to carefully place it on top, in and out. And I found that the in and out method is probably the best, where one goes in, one goes out. Try to line it up. For some reason, you know, if you're this one right here, we're having a little bit of issue with the side there. Alright, and now we have our little sphere. Now, we have all three layers. We have our lithosphere, which is our rock layer or solid layer. Alright, we have our hydrosphere with some water in here, and our atmosphere in here too. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tape. Alright. I'm going to create a seal around the outside of my little planet to make sure that it is good and sealed. Alright. Now, after a while, we should see some condensation building up inside of our little planet. And eventually that'll come and make almost little clouds inside there. And eventually we'll see condensation come up here, and then we should be able to see some precipitation. That's rain come down onto our solid Earth on the lithosphere, and we should be able to create a little light water cycle inside of here. So I hope you enjoyed making our itty bitty Earth today. So on Wednesday, as you have your little itty bitty Earth, hopefully you will think of ways that we can preserve our Earth. And if you like what we do here at the Science of Awesome, be sure to like and subscribe in the links below. And until next time, stay awesome.